just because sometimes, you know, the remarks are useful to other people. Yeah, well, our intent in the course is just exactly as you say, to give people a broad approach to the future where they feel more confident. When the future comes, they'll know more about what the possibilities are than people who haven't taken the course. So it sort of makes you street smart for the future. That's what the Edmonton Journal article in 2014 said. And we think that the Edmonton Journal people will be back to kind of look at what has happened over the 7 years since they wrote that article. So there are many interesting things happening this term. We have a lot of specific objectives of things we think we can accomplish with the course. And so the kind of extended family for the course, you know, we've got the registered students. Looks like there'll be about 14 registered students. And then probably about an equal number of like past alumni from the course, people who have already taken the course but are working on to help us with it as TAs or that kind of thing, or have simply come back because the course changes every term and they're really excited about what we're doing now. So they're not taking it for credit, they're just here for interest. And then the third constituency is medical students taking it as usually a part-time elective, although some of them opt to, they sort of fall in love with the course and they take the whole thing, even though they don't need that much elective credit. So it's a really good mix. And so one advantage of taking the course is not just what we teach you, but meeting the other students. If you think of how you would find, you know, like the 30 coolest people at the U of A, it'd be hard, right? You've got 40,000 students. How are you going to find those 30 coolest people at the U of A? So this might be one way, you know, to identify students who have a genuine interest in the long-term future, the sort of where humanity is going and what the impact of technology will be. And yeah, so like for a teaching career, it's important to think of how important teaching is. You know, various societies value teaching to different degrees, but really it's one of the most important areas, right? I mean, it has tremendous influence on young people. And so one of my themes, let me just see if I find the background for this. So yeah, so this is a graphic that sort of depicts young people changing the world. And I'm a pretty strong believer in that. And it's a solution that most people never think of, you know, when they have this problem they just can't solve, or they're thinking, who should we bring in? The idea of bringing in gifted, creative young people just never ever occurs to them because, you know, they want people with lots of credentials, right? But it doesn't necessarily solve things. There's a lot of problems that can't be solved by credentialed people. And of course, some of those things can't be solved by people at all, but when machines are as smart as we are, in a benign, optimistic world, they're working for us, right? Even though they're smarter than we are, they're still trying to enhance the human experience. And so you look out the window one day and everything's greener and the pollution is gone and the oxygen tension in the air is higher and the levels of the oceans are going down. And when two guys get together and start fighting, there's this unseen force just So now, boys, and prevents the conflict. Yeah, these are all things that we really can't fix the moment, but presumably a species smarter than we are might find it fairly easy to fix all those things. And then we'd have a much better world. It might be a world of permanent vacation, but that might not be that bad. Yeah, so anyway, those are the kinds of things that we talk about in the course, and we talk about ethics just about every time. So does that sound like what you thought you were getting into, and does it sound appealing?
Yeah, it sounds like fun. It sounds like a really optimistic course to end my degree with. Um, yeah,
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
that sounds
no, I
very
think
interesting.
that's true. I did give one apocalyptic talk. We have a holiday that we seem to be the only ones in the world that know about. That's Future Day, which is March 1st. March 1st is Future Day, and so 1 year for Future Day, we had a session that went on into the evening, and around 10:30, I gave this apocalyptic talk of, what could happen if things go really, really, really bad from a technology and human interaction point of view. But even that tends to have a sort of optimistic end for me. I think we could solve those things if they did occur. So yeah, so it's a graduate course taken mostly by undergraduates. At the moment, I think there are 3 graduate students signed up and 11 undergraduates, counting you. And that's kind of commonly how it is. And so as a graduate course, it means if everybody does well, everybody can get a high grade. The grades don't have to be curved or anything. And so it's kind of amusing. Sometimes the people who are really upset about their grade are the people who got A's, because they know some people got A pluses and they really wanted an A plus. The data is quite clear that they didn't do as well as the A plus people. But anyway, it's kind of a not too bad problem to have if that's the biggest
Yeah,
sort
for
of
sure.
student dissatisfaction. So yeah, and if you just come in and coast, plan to do nothing, like heard it's an easy course and you're just going to sit there, that really can't happen because the other students are so interesting that you're stimulated to work on it because they're so earnest and dedicated and so enthusiastic that it'd be hard to just kind of sleep your way through the course.
Mm-hmm.
So about 7 years ago, we had a student who seemed to be intent on doing nothing and who got a C. So, I mean, it wasn't a failing performance, I think, because a lot of the teaching sessions are so stimulating that even if you don't want to, you're bound to learn some good stuff, So anyway, that's kind of the way the course is, and we get international peer reviews, so prominent people from the outside watch the videos and recommend positive changes we could make in the future of the course and stuff like that. So have I answered most of your questions, or do you still have lots of angst and uncertainty?
I just have one question about how the structure is going to look like in an online environment. I'm guessing it'll sort of be like Zoom discussions.
Yeah, it's Zoom. We try not to have all the teaching session taken up by PowerPoint because, as you know, particularly in the recording, even though in the live thing, can still see the people when the PowerPoint is showing, but in the recording, it just shows the PowerPoint, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So it's sort of not very, very interesting, because a lot of the people are quite interesting, both the students and the people teaching. So we try to have a good mix of time spent just in conversation without slides, and then time with slides. So it's not quite as boring. You know, many people are subject, they think that they're getting videos, but it's not really video at all. It's just audio plus the slides, right? Where you
Mm-hmm.
never see the person. You know, it's like, yeah, and I just think that that's so soul destroying to get all of your education like that,
Yeah,
and
I
never be
agree.
able to really get to know the people.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say that you'll really get to know the people in the course, and a lot of them are really interesting folks. So they're memorable and you know, exciting to meet. So that's the situation. There will be people your own age and younger teaching you, and that's also kind of cool. And you may wonder if there's like a standard way that that comes about. A lot of it's pretty accidental, like when you take quantum biology. And so Simon Wu is an graduate student now in neuroscience, and when he took the course, he really excelled in the quantum biology part of it. And the lecturer, Jack Tazinski, was so amazed that, like, Simon even brought new topic, new subject matter that we'd never had in the course before when we taught quantum biology. Then various things happened, and we just decided that we would have Jack keep grading the quantum biology part of the exam, but Simon would do the teaching. And so that's what happens now. So you've got this very young person, but you also have Jack's videos, which are the most popular of all the videos in our course. So go into the YouTube channel, like the middle level there, that set of videos is the most popular, and you can see that it's up to, I think, 6,000, 7,000
Oh, wow.
views. So a lot of people have watched that content. Yeah. So what other questions do you have?
That was the main question. Yeah.
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't think I have any other questions at the moment.
Okay, so what you could do is send me your 7-digit student number, and I can then add you to the course. The person who actually does that will be doing so on Monday, so you'll be added to the course on Monday, and then the first session is Tuesday afternoon at 2. And things get exciting really fast, because the human flourishing transhumanism stuff, we're planning to make very big impact there this term. And so that happens in the second lecture on the 14th. There's a H+ summit on the 17th that some students are taking part in, and then another teaching session on the 19th, and then David Wood, like the most famous futurist out there at the moment, is teaching us on the 21st. 21st has 2 teaching sessions, because there's so much interest around the world that we didn't want it all in the middle of the night for people. So it's one teaching session at 7:30 in the morning, and one at 2 in the afternoon. And the one at 2 in the afternoon will already have the video from the 7:30 meeting, so you'll be able to see what went on there if you're the kind of person who just doesn't do mornings, like 7:30, that hour doesn't exist for me. Okay, we understand about that. So anyway, yeah, we can accommodate people who hold that religious view about times of the day, right?
For sure.
Yeah.
Should I send my student number via email or just in the chat?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can send it via email. Yeah.
Okay.
You can just reply to our existing conversation there. Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good.
So any other questions? Otherwise?
No, I'm excited though for Tuesday.
Good. Okay. Well, I'll see you at 2:00 on Tuesday the 12th. So thank you
Okay,
very
awesome.
much.
Thank you. Nice meeting you.
Right. Bye-bye.